good morning, or wherever this is going to find you. Happy Wednesday. It's the 6th of May. Are you a little hungover? This is finding you the morning after Cinco de Mayo. May it find you in a state that is not hungover. Whew. You know, I did go out for tacos last night. I'll share my experience with that one here in a little bit. But how are you? Welcome to This Morning with Tiff Potter. This is a daily companion audio show. You found the right home if you like a little company while you do the things that are very human in your everyday life. Hi, it comes out at 8 a.m. every day. We're rooted here in Cincinnati, but made for wherever you are, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You found a friend in me. Comment below what your name is and what neighborhood you're listening from. A good morning to Jill in East Walnut Hills. Tara is in Cold Spring, Kentucky. Ainsley's in Boston. AB just got a new job, so she travels from Westchester to Fairfield and everywhere in between, wherever this may find you. I saw a headline, and the lore of it was, I read my boyfriend's ChatGPT and we broke up. And I was like, ooh, tell me a little bit more about that girl. So all of that's on the horizon. Before we go any further today, let me check in on you. What's going on in your world? How are you feeling? What's top of mind? What are you thinking about? Halfway through the week, we're in chapter 2 of 2026. I have officially declared it a page turner. I'm not quite sure if you're there. I think you can kind of figure out where you are in this year, and you can turn your own page whenever you're ready, but there was something about the start of May that felt like a page turn to me. So I share that energy with you. Yesterday, we had Hot Topic Tuesday, where we discussed the importance of leisure, because I'm reading a book about leisure right now called Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy. So if any of that resonates with you, go ahead and check out yesterday's episode, our last episode. It's got a little video. Sometimes there's video. Sometimes it's just my voice. Just my voice in your ear. Yeah, may the spring energy find its way to you. To you, to you, to you. I had something I wanted to mention, but I'm a little neurodivergent, so it's going in one ear and out the other. I can't quite remember. But nonetheless, I have implemented a new morning routine. And there is something about people with morning routines that feel like they are superior to others. And unfortunately, I do fall in that class and in that bucket. I think my morning routine is the cornerstone of my day, and I value and cherish it so much. And if I could encourage you to join me in that when the sun comes up every morning, I really believe it could change your life. But it might not be for you. This week, I started getting up at 4:30 in the morning again, kind of similar to my morning show schedule when I was once in radio. And it's really because I thrived at that hour in the morning. And so this week is kind of a part of that page turner. I started getting up at 4:30 and implementing the pieces of my morning routine that I wanted to take with me in this new chapter, which leads me to remembering what I wanted to tell you is that I slept on the couch last night. When's the last time you had a couch sleep? One of my favorite acts of bravery and boldness is when you know it's like perfect on a Friday. When you know you don't have much going on the next day and you can get good sleep, but it doesn't have to be regimented routine sleep. Like I said, after years in with a strict morning routine, I had to have a strict bedtime. My body responded well to that, and I'm trying to pay attention to the signs of my body. But that the treat of falling asleep on the couch and staying there the entire night, there's something about it. I love it. I love getting cozied up and being like, ooh, look at me being a little rebel, sleeping on the couch. There are some days, though, when you wake up from that and you're like immediately upset. You're immediately. I think the best case is that you doze off around 9 or 10 on the couch. You get up around midnight and finish out the rest of your night in bed. But my morning alarm went off and I was cuddled up under that couch blanket. Also, I think what you have in your house for couch blankets says a lot about who you are as a person. And typically, I'm just like a little throw blanket person. But when I got my best friend Tara's couches from her apartment when she moved in with her fiance. Yes, at 36 years old, I decided to acquire someone else's couch. The jury is still out on whether or not that was a good decision, but you and I both know that getting a couch into a new place is one of the world's worst nightmares. And it was exactly like the Friends situation. My boyfriend and I really did say pivot multiple times. Pivot? Anyways. When I acquired her couches, she also gave me this thick Calvin Klein white down comforter. And it's been on my couch ever since. And sleeping underneath a loose down comforter is a cool feeling. Because typically, down only exists on your bed. And, like, you don't really, unless you're in, I don't know, I mean, if you're the type of person that takes their blanket off their bed to snuggle with, that is bold and brave. There is a separation between church and state in my house. My bed blanket does not leave the bed. But having a bed-like blanket as my couch blanket has been a game changer in the snuggle department and the cuddle department. I also saw a video, if you follow the Giggly Squad, Hannah Berner and Paige, they were talking about what type of person you are when you watch TV. There are people that sit straight up for multiple episodes, feet on the floor. Those people are probably also in jeans. Then there are people that sit curled up like me. I have two positions. I'm either flat with a pillow underneath my knees and I'm underneath that down blanket, or I'm kind of curled up with my feet on the couch and my arm like on top of the pillow. You know the feeling. But I don't have a table in my life. Everything I do is either eating standing up at a standing desk, or I eat sitting on the couch. And that's because I've lived in this apartment for a long time. And I'm manifesting a kitchenette into my life someday, just not right now. Anyways, I did come across an article this morning that said, I read my boyfriend's ChatGPT and it ended our relationship. Now, unfortunately, I can't go deep into the article because there's a paywall. And as an unemployed person at the moment, or as a freelancer entrepreneur, I'm very stingy on where I put my dollars, and Business Insider isn't going to be one of them right now. However, the headline caught my attention, and I was very curious about it. And it made me think, what does your ChatGPT say about you? And I figured we could run through our subthreads. Now, to be honest, I'm curious about which AI tool you use. I just landed on ChatGPT and went with it, but a couple of my friends have been experimenting with Claude and they really like it. I am dead serious when I say this. If you are an AI expert and you are good at deciphering which ones are better than others, please let me know in my DMs which one I should be using, because there is a paywall for ChatGPT and I am investing in it. I need to know, is this the one, or is just this the biggest one that everyone knows? Sometimes I mess around with Google Gemini, but which one is the best? So I figured we could go through what my sub threads are for ChatGPT and see what they say about me, and I encourage you to do the same and send me a screenshot on Instagram. Here we go. Coming in at number 1. This was my big project yesterday. Best jeans for my body type. I'm getting ready to go on vacation at the end of May. I'm also wanting to upgrade my style, and I'm very curious, based off of my body shape right now, which styles look best on me. I have a very specific aesthetic and style that I've honed in on over the last couple of years in my early 30s, and I really love that. But if I were to purchase new or used clothes, where am I going? I think the biggest thing that women go through is what bras do I buy? What jeans do I buy? What bathing suits do I buy? And that was the train I was on. Haircut suggestions for fine hair. In my 6 months of job transition, my hair has thinned. And I know if you're an expecting mother or maybe someone going through a lot of stress, your hair has thinned as well. This was a new thing for me. And I loved that ChatGPT was able to take my face and photos of me and give me different options of what my hair would look like. I was very inspired by Charlize Theron's newest movie called Apex on Netflix. And I was like, do I go back to short? So that was another one. This morning, summaries and social. I lean into AI to help write the summaries of our episodes. Email for GI doctor. I have taken all my symptoms and I've said, hey, tell me how I should write this email. Small business bank advice, a couple of clients, life path 6 chart. I saw something on TikTok that I was inspired by. If you take your birth date and add it up, it gives you your life path. And I was very, very, very intrigued by what it said about me. What else? Early pregnancy signs, because I'm just a girl. And if you know, you know. Am I pregnant at this moment? I am not. Healthy banana muffins. Ulcerative colitis clarification. I also was diagnosed with UC last May, so it's been a learning experience for me. How many times have you hit up ChatGPT for medical advice? There are at least 3 or 4 in here. Business pitches. You know, as somebody that has always worked for corporate, when I started my audio storytelling business and this show, which is a second part of my business, I don't know how to start a business. Are you too also leaning into ChatGPT or AI to help create your small business? Writing. Oh, here's a good one. Cobra versus Marketplace Insurance. Funny. Some of these now are getting really old. Solo adventure tips. Health functioning analysis when I should have gotten my hormones checked. Teaching watercolor basics. And then I have one for each social media platform, including Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Career fit based on strengths. Shout out to my girl, Jill. I took the Clifton Strengths test, and I inputted some of the results into AI. I also use it for field hockey. If you didn't know this, I'm the JV field hockey coach for Ursuline Academy up in Blue Ash. It's been a useful thing in my life, and I feel like it does say a lot about me. Like, I would not want to give my boyfriend access to my ChatGPT. And I had to think on this a little while, going back to the article with the paywall. And I almost feel like for me, and I'm probably not using AI correctly, but it feels a lot like giving someone access to a journal. Because there are a lot of thoughts. I love AI for that. It's a really good sounding board, but in the last 6 months of really relying on it to create business, to answer questions, I do find that I ask myself if it's making me dumber, if it's taking away my critical thinking skills. I don't think I'm utilizing AI in the best ways, but what does your ChatGPT say about you? Please screenshot some of your funny ones if you want to send them my way at the Tiff to F's Potter like the wizard. I can imagine why reading someone's ChatGPT would make you think differently about them, like the headline of this article. It is very intimate. It's very personal. Would you share your ChatGPT with someone? God, this is a topic. It's kind of coming together as I'm saying it out loud. Would you share would you share your internet history? Would you share your AI history with someone? Everything on here is clean. I mean, there is some like nightmare grammar and typing because that's just who I am as an ADHD brain dump on this thing. There are a few questionable things that I probably have asked. You know, recently I found myself asking it about like life, which is interesting. Let me see if I can pull it up while we're hanging out here. I was talking to it a little bit about, you know, just the way I view life. I said, I don't think I'm better than other people, but there's something about my life that I feel like I've secretly figured out the magic sauce to life sometimes. Like, I don't envy people. Sometimes I envy other people's bodies in a bathing suit as I prepare for my trip to Florida at the end of this month. I might envy or, you know, look at someone and I say, they feel very energetically aligned with their life. But I just feel like some days I've unlocked the secret sauce of life. And I literally said that, it like brain dumped a voice note that into my ChatGPT. And what it said back to me is it said, quote, I've learned how to experience my life in a way that feels good to me. So it kind of gave me clarity like a therapist would. Would I want someone in my like inner circle to read that? No, they'd probably say, Tiffany, what's going on here? But would you share your ChatGPT history with someone? And what does it say about you? I could see why the headline on this was it ended to our breakup, because it really does give you the true insight on someone. I'm very curious on why, what it was. I think basic stuff, of course, it doesn't. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. We'll leave it at that. How about we leave it there? I love it when things come together unexpectedly, leaving room in the show for spontaneity. All right, I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you so much. I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for inviting me into your life, into the places that you love. I will see you right back here tomorrow in the This Morning headquarters.